conversations in the community. I'm your host, Dania Parker-Smith with parkbench.com, South London, Wortley. I'm also a realtor here in London with the Vista Premier Realty and Team Forster. Today we're going to be speaking with Hoag Qadhi from Old South Village Pub here in Wortley Village, right on Wortley Road. The Old South Village Pub has been a long-standing part of the Wortley Village community, but today happens to be the one-year anniversary that Hoag and his partner purchased the pub. So we're going to speak with him today about his adventure in the last year and some of his plans going forward. So welcome, Hoag.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So tell me a bit about yourself, where you're originally from, and how you landed in London.
I'm originally from Iraq.
Yes.
In the Kurdistan Mountains. My parents immigrated over in 1976, and I was a year and a half when we came over, and that was just because of the whole what was going on at the time back in Iraq with the coup and how they took over. And I've been here ever since.
You've been here ever since, and you're just Canadian as a Canadian can be.
I'm one of the guys.
You're one of the guys. I love it. I love finding out where people have come from and their stories, because I think it makes a person. So Hoag, what was it about the Old South Village Pub that made you and your partners want to take a venture and take ownership of this business?
So really, I had no aspirations about getting into this at all. I was sitting back one night, and myself, Jeff Rowe, one of my partners, and Tom Imison, one of our other partners, sat down and they started talking about a place in Wortley Village. And I said, oh, okay, well, that's great. I've never really been to the village, considering I've lived here all my life, and drove by the one place, and I said, oh, it's just an old house. And then we started talking, and it turns out that, you know, a lot of character, a lot of this is one of the top places to be in London, in the village, and this restaurant. And so we just jointly said, sure, let's get into it.
Awesome. Well, I interview a lot of people from the area, and this is probably 8 out of 10 times this is one of the places where they recommend they love to eat. So
Nice.
I'm happy to be here with you today. I love to eat here. I love being out on the patio that you guys have created out there. It's really nice, and even when it gets a little cooler, you've got the heaters and stuff. I love that.
Really nice.
Yeah. So what personal touches have you and your partners actually put on the business since taking it over?
Personal touches for like decor inside.
Oh, anything,
or
changes
just
of
in general.
menu, anything.
So we've changed the menu. We started from scratch. We're giving more of like a comfort kind of menu to it, but also when I say comfort, but it's also scaly as well. Like it's not your burgers and fries. It's not just your pasta and liver dinners kind of things. Interior, we've painted. Jeff did a lot of the handiwork around, put up new decor, art. So basically, this place before, when we first walked in, was just random pieces of bar stuff everywhere. So we wanted to change the culture in the pub. We wanted to change the culture for the guests. So when they walked in, it was more of an intimate setting for them, and we wanted to change the culture for the staff. We really needed the staff to buy into what our concept was, and in return, that would get the guests to come back and go, wow, great job, instead of just going, the walls are gray.
I think that's always something that's challenging when new management comes in and they have their own vision, and people are used to doing things in a certain way, and getting that buy-in from your new employees is always something that can be challenging, right?
Yeah.
And so what are your plans with the business then over the next year? You've just finished year 1, so what is the plans for year 2?
Well, as soon as we get an actual full year into it, I think we'll sit down and we'll smile and nod and go, wow, that was fun. But I think moving forward, the three of us are just going to keep plugging away and just making this probably we're trying to make it one of the best places in London. Considering that it's in Wortley Village, and Wortley Village is one of those sought after places that people love to come, and they love to walk, and they love to people watch. And we want the pub to be one of those places that it's now part of the village, and it always has been part of the village, but we want it to be, I'm going to the village and I'm going to the pub.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think that's great because Wortley Village is not just on the radar for local citizens of London, but of our whole entire country, because it keeps getting nominated as one of the best neighborhoods in the country.
Yeah.
So I think that that's a great aspirations to be that place that people want to go and they know where it is as soon as they mention the name. So what's the most popular item that you have seen on your menu? What would you recommend people get?
We have a oh my god, there's a bunch of them, but I think a couple of our staple items right now, appetizer wise, there's it's the perch dip.
Okay.
So we have a perch dip, and it's sautéed mushrooms, peppers, onions, smoked perch, cream cheese, and a couple other spices and everything in there. It's fantastic. And then I think the other one would probably be the roasted beets, feta cheese, dill, and some balsamic glaze. And then it's everything, like when you look at the numbers, everything is pretty much there.
Yeah.
There isn't just one item where you go, nah, let's get rid of it. They're all, but I think those two would probably be highlights, especially in the summer and on the patio.
Right.
Indoor, probably Tom's smoked mac and cheese that he came up with, and it's fantastic.
One of those comfort foods again you were talking
Exactly.
about, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. And I like to ask this question because I find it interesting about people, but what's one of the oddest requests that you've had from people for substitutions or alterations to a meal?
We've asked for caviar to get brought in
Okay.
to put in one of their pastas, and just
Pasta. Okay.
anchovies in their Caesars. Not Caesar salad, but in their Caesar drink.
Oh,
Yeah, and so I didn't really know how to respond. I just said okay and walked away.
customers always right.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. And what's the best thing about being located here right on Wortley Road?
I'm probably the people, the clientele, just the exposure in general. But again, like we were talking earlier, this Wortley Village is just a place where people want to come, and I think we're in probably the best spot. We're in between two stop signs and a lot of great other restaurants and boutiques and shops around, and we all kind of it all works together. So
And accessible parking right out front is always a bonus.
out front, around the side, around
Right.
back, wherever we can.
I like it because, so in the summertime when I come, I love to walk around the village and just look at the shops. I'm a window shopper, so I love to do that. And then we stop here and get a little drink. And,
Nice.
you know, I think the last time my husband and I were here, that was in the summer, and I had a burger. Do you have like, is it a Swiss and mushroom burger? Did you have?
That was probably one of our feature burgers that we ate.
Yeah. I think that was one of the best burgers I've ever had in my life. It was just fantastic. So I will be back for that when
Awesome.
I can sit down in a restaurant again and really enjoy, which is pretty much right now, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing a little bit more about the restaurant. I hope that you guys enjoy your second year, and it is so much better than what the first experience was, but
Hopefully.
although it will be memorable for you, right?
Yeah.
So thank you so much
Awesome.
for joining
Thank you.
me. And I'm Dania Parker-Smith once again for parkbench.com, South London, Wortley, and also being a realtor here in London does afford me the ability to support so many people in their real estate needs. So if you are looking for help with a realtor, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to chat with you at any time. So until next time, stay safe.